Decidueye is one of the most underrated Pokemon inside of Pokemon Unite. I will cover everything from its moves, items, emblems, and a large breakdown on exactly how you can become the best Decidueye player to ever touch Unite. If you want to decide what's covered next in this series, I post polls in the community tab, and if you would like something more specific, let me know and I will put it in the next poll. Getting straight on with it with the moves. This time I'll try not to say something that you already know, I'll instead only tell you something if it's important about the move. Starting with Decidueye's ability. Long Reach lets you do 20% more damage to any enemy that's at a distance. This, in combination with Spirit Shackle and another move I'll get to in a second, will lead to some devastating damage at long range with this Pokemon. This flows nicely into the main build with this Pokemon. The main strategy with Spirit Shackle Decidueye is to play in the central or the bottom lane. With Scope Lens and Razor Claw, you'll have high chance of crits to do even more damage. How Decidueye functions is a long list of things that snowball together to do massive damage. First, you have Long Reach, doing 20% at a longer range, then bonus damage from crits, and then Shadow Sneak. The main thing you need to know about this move is that it finds a nearby enemy and applies 60% nerf to their defenses. This defense reduction essentially acts as another damage boost for Decidueye. Therefore, the first tip I can give you for running this build: before using Spirit Shackle, activate your Shadow Sneak. Another thing I should mention is that Razor Leaf Decidueye plays very differently to Spirit Shackle. Although this build is not really recommended, it can work. But with this build you want to play with your team a lot more. With Spirit Shackle, it's designed to stay further away from the fight and just keep picking off enemies with your arrows. But with Razor Leaf you want to be a bit closer to your team so you can take advantage of those better autos, especially with Rapid Fire Scarf. With Decidueye, there's another thing I need to make sure you understand before we go further into this video. You can cancel your Unite move. If someone is about to run you down, press the Unite move again and it will deactivate. Please do this in your games. I've seen way too many Decidueyes activate the Unite move in the wrong spot and then just sit there while something like a Zeraora is just in their face and they die. If you're being approached by something such as a high DPS Speedster or maybe a Cinderace, please get back to a better position and get ready to re-engage with your arrows. Now I'll be going over the items that you need to be running in your games. Rapid Fire Scarf is pretty much a must, especially early game, but also just generally for the Razor Leaf build, you need Rapid Fire Scarf. This Pokemon plays similar to other auto attackers such as Duraludon or Dragapult, with the obvious twist that you need to stay much further back when spamming out your Spirit Shackles, because with that low HP pool you will just pop like a balloon. Along with Rapid Fire Scarf, there's a lot of other items that can be run with this Pokemon. Others such as Muscle Band, Charging Charm, Float Stone, and although some may think otherwise, if you're playing in the lane, use Attack Weight. Just make sure that when you do, there's no other enemies around, because if you get caught out with Decidueye, you'll just be killed in seconds. For Decidueye's emblems, you want to be running the 6 brown, 6 white, as is pretty much every other Pokemon, with some exceptions of course, and you need to prioritise speed and attack for this build. Now it's time to move on to the gameplay review of this section of the video. We start where I'm about to try and steal the centre farm in Dede. I save my Leafage ready to secure the steal and get the evolution for my Slowbro. I then move to this spot right here, ready for when the Baltoy will spawn at 9 minutes, so I can quickly get that down, ready for the Altarias at 8 minutes and 50 seconds. Nothing really happens for a while. Bottom path secure the Reggie with no issues, and I get my Decidueye ready for the Eleki. Unfortunately, I was left to farm the Reggie myself as the Slowbro held off the enemies. Though this doesn't allow me to show off the secure, I'd like to still mention that I'm playing from a distance and I have my arrow ready if I need it. Again, I'm playing from a far distance, picking off enemies that get low or try to run, such as this Cinderace. Now I'm rotating down, ready for the bottom Reggie, and getting any farm that I can on the way. If you've gotten this far into the video, I'd like to thank you and ask if you would think about subscribing to this channel. I work hard to try and push out as many videos as I can with the purpose of making you the best Unite player that you can be. So being bigger on the platform would help me reach a lot more people. Once again, I'm rotating back up and taking the boost along the way to get a little bit more experience. This is a perfect example of when you should use your secure. I noticed their HP is getting very low, and so I move backwards as I do extra damage from a distance because of my ability, and I release it with about 1/6 HP left. When I use my Unite move here, I'm planning my camera so I can see further where my team is and which is the best target to shoot at. After I score, I quickly move back to try and get as many points as I can so that I can score again while the Aleki's effect is still running. And then skipping forward a little bit, here at Ray, we feel confident enough to challenge it since there's 2 enemies in the bottom lane and 1 in the top lane, and so there's not many people that can challenge it right now. Their Decidueye tries to steal with their Unite move, but I have the Spirit Shackle ready to secure. That's going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed this one, I have plenty more guides on my channel, such as Blazerkin and Slowbro, which are on screen now.